Happy Valentine's Day to all you lovers out there in video game world. This is Dave LeClaire, gaming editor for MakeUseOf.com, and I'm here to bring you another episode of Video Game Hub. We have reached episode number 5, which is appropriate because we're going to count down the top 5 stories from the world of video games in the past week. So let's get ready to jump right in. Let's move on to our 5th story right now. Alright, here we go with our 5th story of the week this week, and that is all about Dungeon Keeper. So how do you take a legion of fans and piss them off really bad? Well, let's ask EA about this because they seem to be the experts. Quite simply, you put out a classic game, Dungeon Keeper in this case, on mobile and fill it up with microtransactions, just raining microtransactions down everywhere. That's what EA's done, and of course the fans are very upset about it. Dungeon Keeper's a classic. It was one of the better games at its time. You build up your dungeon, you go raid other people's dungeons, you hope your dungeon is successfully defensible, and it was awesome. So EA put it out, everyone was extremely excited. Hey, a new Dungeon Keeper and it's going to be playable on the go, I can take it anywhere I want. And then they just riddled it with microtransactions. Everything you do costs money, and everything you do takes forever. So it's one of those games where you do something and then you wait. And then you do something and you wait, and then it's just this endless loop of doing something and waiting, doing something and waiting, and it sucks. So GOG, or Good Old Games as they used to be called, actually put out the original Dungeon Keeper for free all weekend. So you can go to their site, you can download it, and you can play the original, and you can remember why you loved it in the first place. You can get that nasty taste that EA left out of your mouth. Alright, let's move along to our 4th story of the week. But before we jump into that, let me start with a question. Do you know this game? Resident Evil? Have you heard of it? It's classic. Well, the creator of this amazing game, Shinji Mikami, is working on a new horror game called The Evil Within. Now that's not news in and of itself. We've known about this game for a while. What is news is the release date of the game, which is August 26th. We knew the game was coming, but we didn't know when. Actually, we were kind of hoping it might be sooner, maybe March, but I think a lot of people are trying to get out of Titanfall's way. So August 26th, we can look forward to this incredible survival horror game, or at least what looks to be an incredible survival horror game from one of the godfathers of the genre himself. In case you're not familiar with the game, why don't we take a look at the trailer right now? Alright, and now it is time to move into our 3rd story of the week. This week we're going to keep bringing you bad news because I just love to be the bearer of bad news. Not really, actually. I wish I had all positive news to deliver every week, but the video game world doesn't work that way. And our number 3 story is that Warner Brothers is prioritizing DLC for Batman Arkham Origins over fixing the game-breaking bugs that exist in the game. Now the bugs are not super widespread, not everybody's having the problems, but for gamers who are, they're not actually able to finish the game, they're game-breaking bugs. So instead of fixing those, for the time being, they're going to focus on putting out DLC that they can sell to gamers and make money. So if you own a copy of Arkham Origins and your game is broken, are you going to run out and buy DLC? I'm going to go ahead and guess you probably won't, because that would be dumb. So Warner Brothers should really get their priorities straight. They should be fixing the game for players who are having issues and not worrying about selling players new content. But they said right now they have no plans to fix the bugs and they're going to focus on DLC. Hopefully down the road they change their mind and they fix that, but this is a really, really crappy situation. If you're running a video game company and you put out a game that's busted, you should focus on fixing the problems. Even EA has put plans for Battlefield 4 DLC aside, and they are focusing 100% on getting Battlefield 4 to be the game that it was meant to be before it was released. Sure, the harm's already been done, the game's been broken for a very long time, but they're fixing it, and that should be the focus. People paid $60 for a copy of Arkham Origins, or maybe less on a Steam sale or something. The game should work. That should be the first priority. So Warner Brothers, get your act together, fix your game, and then worry about selling people DLC. In the video game world, there's one thing everyone is talking about. And that brings us to our number 2 story of the week, and that is Titanfall. Seems like we can't go a week without talking about Titanfall, so let's talk about it again. The beta starts today. So you can go to titanfall.com/beta, sign up. Hopefully you get in. You can sign up for PC and Xbox One, no Xbox 360 as that game was pushed back, and that seems to be kind of the B-list Titanfall anyway. That we're not really sure how it is, but reports have said that it's okay, but we'll see. That's a game that's made for next gen. So you can go to titanfall.com/beta, you can sign up. It starts today at a time to be determined. A lot of media has already been playing the beta, so you can find people on Twitch streaming it all over the place. Total Biscuit was on there streaming yesterday. Giant Bomb did a big stream. So there's plenty of people out there playing Titanfall, and you could be one of them. The beta ends on the 18th, so you only get a few days to get in there and play. But obviously they want to test the servers out and see how things are running, and that's why they're having the beta. At this close to release, there's not going to be any major changes to the game. I mean, the game comes out in less than a month. So at this point, it's probably just to test the server load and see how it's going to handle it. Remember, this game is being published by EA, makers of Battlefield and SimCity, so that's my only worrying point about Titanfall. The game looks incredible. I've been watching tons of videos of people play it. Obviously, I signed up for the beta, but I haven't heard back yet, so I'm still waiting. EA, what's up? Respawn, let's go. Where's my beta key? So I'll let you know how it goes next week if we actually get to play it. But if you want to play it, make sure to register soon. They're going to let people know by the 17th, so there's a chance you may only get in for one day. Not everybody's going to get in. They're going to do kind of like a ramp-up rollout. So we'll see how it goes, but Titanfall looks promising, and you can play it possibly now. And now it is time for our number 1 story of the week this week. And normally when I put this together, I move the stories around. I can never decide on what's going to be number 1. None of that this week. This was an easy decision. And unfortunately, I had to make the number 1 story of the week this whole Flappy Bird thing. Everyone on the internet is talking about Flappy Bird. The creator pulled the game because it was ruining his life. Before that, there were stories that he was making $50,000 a day on ad revenue. The whole story is just insane to me. You're making this much money, you pull the game, that's fine. Everyone starts tweeting this guy death threats, making his situation even worse because he removed the game. It's just a game, people. It's a free iOS game about a stupid bird. You tap the screen and he jumps between the Mario pipes, which are not actually Mario pipes, but they're pretty damn close. It's just crazy how much everyone is talking about this story. It's all over the internet. Even non-gaming site, regular news sites are talking about Flappy Bird being removed from the App Store and how this creator was willing to give up all this money. First of all, the game's still on devices for people who own it, so he's still making his ad money. And his other 2 games are in the top 25 on the App Store, so he still has those going for him. So it's not like the guy all of a sudden pulled the plug on all of his money. He's still making plenty of money. He hasn't been tweeting much anymore. He's kind of removed himself from the public eye at this point, which makes sense. He's actually sticking to his guns. He said he doesn't want to be in the public. The game was ruining his life. So he's backing down from Twitter. He's getting off social media. I say good for him though in the long run. I mean, the guy made a ton of money off of his very simple game. He wasn't happy. Money doesn't buy happiness. So he pulled the game and he's moving on with his life. He now has a ton of money in the bank still, so money maybe got him a little bit of happiness because now he doesn't have to worry about anything if he really was making $50,000 a day off the game. So that's the story of Flappy Bird. The game was made. The game was not particularly great to begin with. The game made a crap ton of money after about a year on the market. The creator didn't like that the game was ruining his life. He pulled the game. The game is gone now. Everybody's angry about it. Flappy Bird. It's like we could write a book on this stuff. Maybe make a movie. Just picture it. Picture it in the bright lights. Flappy Bird. The tale of Flappy Bird. Someone come up with a better title. I'm telling you. Flappy Bird movie. It's going to be the next big thing. See it under the bright lights. Flappy Birds everywhere. And that's it. That's your number 1 story of the week is Flappy Bird. I had to do it. I didn't want to do it. But everybody's talking about it so much that it just had to be Flappy Bird. Titans are falling, birds are flapping, and news is developing, and we are here every week to bring it to you. Once again, I am Dave LeClaire, gaming editor for MakeUseOf.com, bringing you through this journey through the world of video game news. I bring you through the same journey every single week with different stories, of course. It'd be kind of boring if I just talked about the same 5 stories every week. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Please click the subscribe button right over here so that you never miss another episode of Video Game Hub, as well as all the other amazing video content we bring you here at MakeUseOf.com. And tell your friends, because I'm sure they would like to know about the video game news. I mean, if you're enjoying the show and you want to know about the news, I'm sure your other friends would, so why not let them get in on the fun? Once again, thank you very much for watching. See you next week.